Every day at Sierra, you'll find top brand apparel, footwear, and gear for 20 to 60% less than department and specialty store prices. And during clearance time at Sierra, those incredible prices are 40 divided by 2.5, carry the 1, even lower. And when you shop clearance at Sierra, you can save a whole lot more on everything you need to get active and outside. That's a lot of saving. Epic brands, vast selection, teeny tiny prices. That's Sierra. Visit your local Sierra store today or shop online at Sierra.com.
The Oregon Ducks are set for a revenge matchup with Indiana in the college football playoff semifinals at the Peach Bowl, courtesy of whooping Texas Tech's behind, sending the Red Raiders into a spending frenzy. That is my longest intro of the season. Welcome to the Ducks Confidential Podcast. I am Aaron Fentress of the Oregonian and OregonLive, joined by George Wrighster of the Unafraid Show and the CW. George and I have been texting back and forth for 5 days since the Ducks laid down a butt whooping on Texas Tech in Fort Lauderdale. And we're going to get into what that win meant in terms of what it means for the upcoming game. We're not going to rehash too much of that game because it was 5 days out. Usually we record 2 days from the latest Ducks victory. This time it was 5 days ago, but there's still a lot to talk about regarding that game and how it applies to the Hoosiers. Anyway, George, how you been, man? Good weekend for you?
Man, I've been great, man. I've just been watching this damn transfer portal numbers just tick up, just whoop, whoop, whoop. But it was expected. I knew that this was coming. And especially at the running back spot, because De'Aaron Hill, Jordan Davison, they're freshmen. And Jaden Lamar is a legit college running back. I knew he was going to be out. Jay Harris figured he was going to be out because he wants to play football. Right. And there's one other running back out, right?
In the portal?
Yeah.
Hughes. You say Mekhi?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah. And that's expected. So that's three running backs. One of them played substantially, right? And then you're graduating Noah. So you needed four running backs to make it through this season. You got one that just came in as a freshman. So you hope he can contribute on some level. And then you got to get one more out of the portal. You're probably going to have to bring in two lower kind, and I mean this with all respect, is like guys who would be development caliber guys. Just to be able to make it through practice, you have to have at least 6 running backs.
Yeah.
And 4 of them have to be good enough to be able to step on the field because injuries happen. So it is, and Oregon's dealing with an injury at running back right now. You just sent out a tweet. Jordan Davidson.
Yep, broken clavicle. Probably out for the rest of the playoffs. Couldn't confirm the second part. I mean, sort of did, but not to the level I would want to. But how you going to play running back with a broken clavicle?
It don't work like that, brother.
You just touch a broken clavicle and it's like, Could you imagine picking up a blitz? Dante Moore, if Jordan Davis is in the backfield on pass pro with a broken clavicle, Dante Moore needs to just run now. Just take the snap and just run because there's no way you're picking up a blitz. And you know when you're hitting the line the hole hard. And that's a big cat who likes to hit the hole hard. So it just doesn't seem to make sense. So, and Jaden Lamar is in the transfer portal. So if he's gone and Davidson's out, you got Noah and you got De'Aaron Hill and Jay Harris. That's it. And you got to face Indiana.
And after the James Madison game, apparently the policy about transfers playing was changed. Because if you are in the portal now, you gone. Like if you decide that you are out, you out. Because I believe the reason why, and now mind you, I was not told this. So when I tell you I know something, I tell you I know it. This is George's own personal belief, okay? This isn't a hint at something this is my own personal belief. I like to be very clear. I believe that it was because kids were going in the portal that played in the James Madison game, and they played very poorly. And they were like, no, no, let's not do this, because on one hand, portal kids, they want to put out good film, but it also is counter to what they need in their life, because they're going somewhere else. So they don't want to try to leave hurt, because if they get hurt, that opportunity may be gone.
Yep.
So now you're trying to play, but you're kind of playing timid. It's just not good for anybody.
Yes. It's the entire structure is a bleep show. 100%. And you can't, it's like for old head like me, yeah, it doesn't.
A what show? A what show?
A bleep show.
What's a bleep?
I'm bleeping it for Kelly Doyle, so she doesn't have to bleep it, our editor.
Oh, I don't know what that means. You have to explain to me.
A poop show. Anyway.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Sorry. So we create the system that doesn't make any sense for anyone, and you get all this chaos. And I actually briefly, talked to someone in the portal, and they just said, look, I can't risk getting hurt. And there's too much money on the line, and you know where you're going. The other thing is, remember, if you're entering the portal, it's because you believe you have no future at the team you're with.
Well,
so if you believe you have no future, well, most of the time.
Yes.
Most of the time. Okay. And so if you have no future, why are you going to risk your future? If you have no future, why are you going to risk your future? And
when kids leave Oregon, yes. If you leave Oregon State, it's probably because it's either because you don't have a future there, or because I'm thinking in terms of Oregon and the higher programs you leave.
So that's the logical reason. And if you have a chance to go somewhere else and make 100, 200, 300, 400 grand from someone else who really, really wants you, well, it's human nature that if you're in a game, knowing you're out, James Madison, second half, we're up by 30. I'm not necessarily hitting the hole as hard as you might have seen me hit the hole, either as a running back or as a backer filling a hole. It's just not going to be the same, right? That's human nature.
Yeah. No, it definitely is. And it's a tough situation. I want to talk about that for a second, because the kids get blamed all the time. Oh, my God, it's kids hopping in the portal.
Red flag, not a team player,
it's
blah, blah, blah.
It's the leadership that started this. Coaches have been leaving for decades upon decades. When I was at Oregon, we were literally, Coach Bellotti was thinking about taking the USC job. And we were in limbo. We're like, is he going to leave? Is he going to stay? Like, the coaches are always making the best decisions for themselves. They want economic stability, but geographic desirability, career options and upward trajectory. That's what everybody wants. And that's the same thing that the players want. The difference is that the players are just starting to understand how to navigate this world. And you do have kids making bad choices because it's new, and there's always an overcorrection in life. Right. Anytime something has been broken, it always overcorrects, and then it swings back the other way, overcorrects again, and then you end up in a sweet spot. So
hopefully.
Yeah. We as fans have to just deal with this, and it's unfortunate, but the issue is the leadership. Why would anybody, if you're thinking with your smart person brain, make a system where the college football season doesn't even end until the next semester is already going in school for quarter system teams? And then the transfer portal is open before the season even ends. You need to move the season needs to end on January 1st. Portal opens right after that, because guess what you will have? You will have pretty much all the players, like all the players on Oregon's team, they would have been playing right now for the most part. Pretty much all of them, except for like Jalil Florence and, like that. But outside of that, if the season ended on January 1st, portal opened on the 2nd, pretty much all of them would have made it through the entire season.
Right. And those who maybe are on their way out could take out insurance policies.
Yep. Done. It just is. And you got people, oh, well, dude, you can't give up the bowl games. Like, Yeah, yes, you can.
Yes, we can.
There is money to be made everywhere. Do you know what you start doing? Is you start taking those name sponsors and put them on the quarterfinal games, and you just the Verbo Fiesta Bowl at Oregon hosting James Madison. You got the Orange Bowl, Miami hosting. Texas A&M hosting Miami in the Cotton Bowl, or the location doesn't matter. The naming rights and the sponsorships, that's what matters.
Right.
It's like we can't get out of this antiquated system and thinking, and this is why we need young blood in these leadership positions and not these old fuddy-duddies who the word change they think is a 4-letter word.
6. All right. Let's move on from that to, let's see, top 5 game in program history. The 2 national championship games, clearly. The other semifinal game. This one, I'm going to put the Fiesta Bowl against Colorado in there. What else we got? Those are probably, and then I guess last year's Ohio State game was top 6. That's 6. I'm gonna say this is the semifinal game, top 5 game in the history of the program.
Oh, this upcoming game against Indiana.
Yes. Sorry.
Oh,
yeah. Sorry.
Yes, it is top 5 most important games.
Right.
Yes.
So Oregon lost to Indiana 30-20 on October 11th in Eugene. That game, you and I agreed at the time, was probably good for this team to learn some lessons, take a butt whooping, to not, get too caught up in your own hype, because they were just rolling over people. And then you had the PSU hype, right? They won the PSU game, and it was like, oh my God, these guys could win the Super Bowl if they wanted to. And that set them on a different trajectory. I know the question's coming, so I'm just going to get to the answer real quick. Is the window open?
Yes.
For them to win a national title?
Aaron Fentress. Is Oregon's window open for a national championship?
So here's what I'm going to say. So my premise was I didn't think they could run the table winning 3 games against 3 high-end teams. And those teams in my head, like the first Texas Tech, I thought they could beat them, but Indiana, Georgia, Ohio State were the main 3. I just didn't see how they could win against those 2 teams, or 2 of those, a combination of 2 of those teams.
2 of them are gone.
2 are gone, right? Which really makes that side of the bracket not look as daunting. Now, on one hand, you can say, well, the teams that beat them must be pretty good too. Yes, but it's still different in terms of how my mind processes the path. All right. But the number 1 team, the team that beat them, the team that has by far the better resume, although resumes are overrated because you never know what's going to happen until 2 teams meet, is still in their way. And that's Indiana. However, I do think they can beat Indiana. I just don't think they will. But since I think they can, and therefore I think they can defeat Ole Miss or Miami, I have to at least admit now that the window is slightly ajar. If they had to go Indiana, Ohio State, or Indiana, Georgia, I'd still say no, because that was my entire premise the whole time. But with those 2 out, and the other thing is with those 2 out, it just shows that this whole thing is just crazy town, right? It's like you cannot be definitive about anything, huh?
Yes, the thing that we can be definitive about, I believe, is that the window is open for Miami, Ole Miss, Indiana, and Oregon. The window's open, okay? The window is wide ass open for them. You gotta win.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yes, the window is open. You can't be 2 games away from a natty and be like, the door's ajar.
But okay, let me give you an example though. When the Chicago Bears made the NFC Championship game with Jay Cutler several years ago, this like maybe 10 years ago or something like that, they're playing the Packers at home. I did not believe for a second that the Bears were going to win the Super Bowl. When the Blazers made the West Finals in 2019, Was the window open? No. Everyone knew they were going to get rolled by Golden State. So there's, just making the semis doesn't necessarily mean you have a legit shot. But because of what's happened, I at least make it a jar. I just don't think they're going to win this week because this is the obstacle that I'm saying. Like I just think is going to prevent them. And so for me, it's not open.
Gets past Indiana.
Well, then that's a given. I mean, look, if the Ducks are up 3 possessions with under 5 minutes to go and they have the ball and the other team's quarterback is out, then I'll declare the window open. But until then, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding by just a little bit. No, look, it's definitely a jar. I just think, to me, this is the obstacle, one of the 3 obstacles that I thought they could not clear. And so that's why for me, I'm still like, And
remember this, right?
Right.
Remember all year, not all year, but when it got down to playoff time and we got to talking about the Ducks' path, what did I say I wanted? I was like, I don't care who we play.
Right.
Just put teams in front of us that we can beat. That's it. Because there's 12 teams in the playoffs. You don't have to play all 5. You only got to play 4 to win. So just the 4 teams that get in your way, you can beat them. I 100% believe that Oregon can beat Indiana. I also believe Indiana can beat Oregon. But when we look at the ways that Oregon has to win, and I did a preview of this on Unafraid Show, video evidence of all of this, okay? Video evidence where I'm breaking down plays and you can be like, oh, okay. There were many plays to be had. Dante's looking in the wrong direction. And part of that is plan, and Dan Lanning talked about where he felt like their plan was bad. And he literally said that in the locker room. I was in the locker room after the game. He said the plan was bad. Obviously, we didn't execute at the highest level that we needed to, but he was like, this was on the coaches.
Okay.
And we've seen significant adjustments by the coaches. At times, when something has gone wrong, they've been able to fix it. Now, granted, Indiana is a better version of what they were too. Like, they've grown as a team. Texas Tech was not battle tested. They beat every single one of their 12 wins was by 20 points or more.
Right.
Their only game they lost, their quarterback wasn't even playing in Baron Morton. So that was my biggest question. I was like, Oregon has won so many different ways. Like, they've been battle tested. And it was the irony on Ducks versus them is that Dan talked about that. He was like, we've won every single way possible. They have not. So when they get drugged down into a game like this, are they going to be ready for it? Now, Indiana, they've blown mostly everybody out, but they've had to come back and win against Penn State. They got into a dogfight with Iowa, which they had to pull away with that Surratt slant for Bang 8 for a touchdown.
And they've been in Ohio State game too, 13-10.
Yeah, they've been in some dogfights. Now you got another one. But the difference is this. Oregon is a more talented football team than Indiana. That does not mean, because Indiana does have NFL players on it. Oregon has more frontline NFL high draft picks and everything else than Indiana does. This game is going to come down to coaching. Can Oregon diagnose, and obviously execution by the players, but can Oregon diagnose Indiana's run stuff? Excuse me. They're simulated pressures.
Right.
Because they pretend like they're blitzing from one side and then they come from the other side. And if you're not able to adjust or pick it up early, then you're going to get confused. And Dante Moore, I didn't say a lot of this that I'm going to say now. And I said it to Aaron. And if you go back to the episode after the Indiana game, he looks at me and he's like, really, George? Because something that I said to him off the air, I did not say on the air. And remember, I'm college football's honesty broker, truth teller. But you know, sometimes everything is not need to be said at that point in time. And Aaron, do you remember where I told you? I was like, I didn't like the look in Dante's eyes at the end of the game.
Correct.
I was like, this is scary. This is not good. I didn't. But then toward the end of the season, in the Iowa game, and that was why, and remember, if you go back to the Penn State game, I told everybody why he was crying. He was crying because there was a belief inside of him. He knew who he was, but then he proved it to himself.
Right.
And then in the Indiana game, he questioned that a little bit, I believe, a small percentage. And then as the season goes on, you make throws in the Iowa game, Wisconsin, you get hurt. And then you come back and play the next game after, like, and then when they got in the Washington game and even the USC game, there was a different look in that kid's eyes. I was like, oh, he's there now. He's there. He can't be broken anymore. He could be broken. And now he can't be broken. So he's a different player. So that is what I'm excited to see. This is a coaching game, Aaron. And also a commitment to the run, because Oregon in the first game with their backs carrying the ball at almost 5 yards to carry, stop running the football. You have to run this Indiana team in the ground and then take big shots when them safeties, because if you're able to run it and all that stuff, and then all of a sudden, those linebackers, if you're running at a high level, when they're sprinting back, like you don't see too many linebackers do what they do at the snap of the ball. They're faking like they're going to blitz, and they turn around, Aaron, and they haul ass all the way back. But if you're running the football at a high level against them, boy, oh boy, now they got to stay up a little bit closer. And now them windows in the pass game get a little bit bigger. There was wheel routes open, all of this stuff. So I am excited, Aaron. I could not be more excited. I believe the Ducks win this by by 2 scores again. I told you that they were going to win the Texas Tech game by more than two scores. You looked at me with that sourpuss face you got on right now, and I'm telling you again, Ducks by at least 9.
Okay,
at least.
So first of all, you said the Ducks were going to score in the 30s. They scored 9 points, a true 9 points on offense. You said Texas Tech was going to score in the 20s, and they got shut out. So don't act like you're Yoda up in here. You did say they would win by 2 scores, and they did. So that's fine. All right. So now, as I said at the beginning, we were going to talk a little bit about the Texas Tech game. I still can't say that as it pertains to the Indiana matchup. So I'm going to start. A lot of things you said were nice and dandy, and that's great. But red flags. 1.
Hold on. Because I do want you to do this, but I ask you this every single away game, and then you come in trying to give me. First of all, set the scene for us, Aaron. You were at the Orange Bowl. What was the crowd like? How many Duck fans were there? Give us the layout.
Oh, first of all, that place was invaded by Texas Tech. I saw more cowboy boots than I have ever seen in my life. Like, there were just cowboy boots and cowboy hats all over the place. I would say it was 75 to 80% Texas Tech fans. There was one main section on the side, like in the corner, you could see a lot of green and yellow, and then there was some speckled around, but it was mostly Texas Tech fans. Which makes sense because and the place wasn't nearly full, by the way. Like, they were trying to give away seats at the end. I think you get 300 level for like $25, $30. But it makes sense because for them, that was Texas Tech's biggest game ever, wasn't it? Yeah. And for Oregon, it's like, we'll wait for the Peach Bowl. We'll wait for the national championship. We ain't about to go to no damn Orange Bowl.
We're not going to get too excited yet.
Yeah.
We're not going to get too excited.
And a lot of them probably spent a lot of money last year going to the Rose Bowl, all excited, only get disappointed. You kind of got to figure. Because, here's the thing. If I spend a bunch of money to go to Miami to watch that game and the Ducks lose, I'm going to be pissed. If I spend a lot of money to go to that game and the Ducks win, I'm going to be pissed if I can't afford to go to the next one because that's going to be a better game. So I'm going to save my money. So it totally made sense. Yeah. Right? It's strategery at that point, right? So it was the least amount of fans I've seen in a Ducks bowl game that I've covered. I've covered a ton. I can't recall one that wasn't. Maybe the Holiday Bowl wasn't as packed as I remember. So that might be one. But it was a very disappointing crowd. But that's what you get when you don't take geography into account. Like, why would you not send your only West Coast team to a West Coast city?
Well, the issue is that the bowl tie-ins are still there. This is the last year for the bowl tie-ins.
They can't fix. They always, like you said, they can't change anything. They got to let it get jacked up first. Then they want to change it. Right? It's got to be a total bleep show, and then they'll change it. Even though a lot of us can see the problem ahead of time. Okay. Anyway. Yeah. All right. So the number one rush defense in the country is Texas Tech. And they shut down Oregon's run game. 67 yards on 47 carries. And
no, I don't think that was
dude, okay, I'll call it up right now. I got to call it up. 47 carries, 64 yards. Of course, sacks minus 22. So they're running probably 43 carries, 88 yards.
No, 10. Yeah. So
43 carries. It was bad. 2 yards a carry at best. So they got stuff. And all the talk about how the offensive line for Oregon was going to dominate Texas Tech and they're the best, and the Joe Moore Award and blah, blah, blah. And they got handled. Well, who has the number 2 rush defense in the country? Indiana. In Indiana, we can say what we want. We're right. I mean, they had some nice runs in that game, and Oregon went away from the run too early, maybe. But still, Indiana's going to be no joke against the run. I don't see the Ducks running the ball very well, especially if Davidson's truly out. And Lamar's now gone. And so you got Noah and you got De'Aaron Hill. Those are not power backs. I think Indiana, because the best runs, Jordan Davidson had 42 of the yards and 2 touchdowns against Texas Tech. And against Indiana, Davidson had 59 of their 81 yards in that game. So he carried the run game in that game as well. And he might be out. So I think the run game is going to get stuff. Let me finish. And then you go from that to, okay, if you can't run, Indiana's coming. They're bringing the heat. Now, they may not have the talent up front that Texas Tech's defense does in terms of NFL draft picks like you just talked about, but they still can get pressure on people. As a matter of fact, they average 3 sacks a game. Texas Tech, I think, was at 3.7. So if they know you're not going to run and they can come after you, then they can still mess around with Dante. Whatever they showed him last time, they can flip it and do other different things to try and mess with him. Now, I give Dante credit for how he played against Texas Tech, because even against the pressure and not being able to run, he did a great job of diagnosing the quick passing game and getting rid of the ball, which I think NFL scouts love, because NFL knows you're going to have games like that. You need a kid who can just boom, 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 boom. But that didn't produce big plays. And so if that's the case, you're going to end up in a situation where you're not going to score 20 points. The offense scored 9 true points. The defense set up 1 touchdown. The other touchdown came at the end after Texas Tech went for it on 4th down and you got the ball to 28. So I don't see the Ducks getting to 20 points. That's going to be the problem. So you can go.
Sorry, sir. Let me explain this to you, okay?
Break it down.
Everything that you said is true. Okay, in terms of Indiana's statistical numbers and all of this stuff, there is a big difference. I've been trying to explain this to people between the Indiana defense and the Texas Tech defense. Okay. Texas Tech lines up in the same personnel that Indiana does. Like, they are going to keep their linebackers on the field. They're not going to bring in nickel and all of that stuff. Difference is that Texas Tech gets pressure with 4. And they are dominant. Like Poncho, where you had the announcers calling it unforced errors with the snaps. No, those were forced errors. It was an unforced error caused by Lee Hunter's force. That was because he was on Poncho's ass. He was on his ass like back pockets, bro. And
I've never heard that one before. Good.
But the difference is that Indiana's front, they're obviously good and they're strong and they're physical, all of that stuff. But the difference is that they need pressure and blitzes and confusion to stop the run game and all of those things. And part of the reason why people don't run for a lot of yards against Indiana is because Indiana scores so many damn points that you're in a negative game script the majority of the time. So you can't stick to what you do. So part of Indiana's success and even Texas Tech's success has been the fact that people have been in negative game scripts against them when it comes to running the football. That doesn't mean that they've not done a great job of stopping the run. It means that it's a combination of both, that they've done a good job of stopping the run. And then that deters people from running the football, and then you're down by multiple scores. So now you're in a pass happy script. So both things act together. The way you understand. And then people will point to this Alabama game. Did you see the way that they stuffed Alabama running the football?
Well,
I believe that you would say that, right, Aaron?
No, I would not, because we all know Alabama's running.
Okay, I was about to say,
running game
Alabama
is
is buns running the football. They're 120th in the nation running the football.
How is that possible? It's Alabama. Henry,
Bro,
Ingram.
They are big and slow. They're slow on defense.
Trent Richardson, their history though, it's insane.
Man, history don't. What did Dan say before the USC game? Matt Leinart ain't coming through that door.
But my point is that's their thing. Like for DeBoer to come in and like neglect the run game, it's like, dude, you can't do that. Alabama's built on driving people into the ground.
He didn't run the ball great in Washington either. They were
solid though.
Yeah, I'm saying it was more opportunistic because when you have Penix and you have McMillan, Polk, and Odunze
Bear.
Yeah, so now everybody has to pay so much attention to the pass game, and you have to keep two safeties back that now it like your run game becomes like his run game being good, him and Grubb's run game being good is all dependent upon the pass game. Like if their belief is our pass game is so dynamic that people are going to have to play two high safeties and then we're going to be able to run. Well, right. The problem is their offensive line is getting whooped up front. I mean, look at even when they were at UW, Arizona State almost beat them if they had enough linemen to kick field goals. That Arizona State game that they almost lost?
Yeah.
If Arizona State didn't have to go for it on that fourth down and could have kicked a 28-yard field goal, they would have won the football game, but instead they throw a pick six. It's just a situation where styles make fights. And I believe that this is a style because this Indiana offense, they are not – this isn't USC's offense. This is not, one of the high-flying offenses in the country. There's a reason why he was around 3,000 yards at the end of the season. He's only at like 240, 250 a game. There's a reason. Because this offense, they take the low grass. They are going to, any easy access throw, they are going to take it.
Right. And
then if you come up and press, he's going to flip the back over, and then they're going to do a RPO. Watch it. If the Oregon's corners are pressed, depending on down and distance, obviously, they're going to flip the running back over and then run an RPO, or just run an RPO from whatever side the back is on. That's their answer. So, and then when they get in 3rd and 5, 3rd and 7, quarterback draw, which they did on Oregon a couple of times. Their whole thing is being 2nd and 6 or 2nd and 5, and they're like, we're hard to deal with from there. That is all they want to do. So you have to keep them in 3rd and long. And when Oregon got Indiana in 3rd and long, they had serious success. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Dude, as usual, that was all great stuff. I mean, it was slanted by your fandom because Oregon's not running the football in this game. I'm telling you right now, they are not going to have a successful day rushing the football. If they're going to win, it's going to be on Dante's shoulders, okay. Right shoulder.
I'm telling you, Aaron.
What I'm saying is, I think the more veteran, seasoned quarterback is the one I'd rather have. Dante's probably more talented, but I'd rather have the more veteran, seasoned quarterback in what's going to be a relatively, tough dogfight. I don't think Indiana's going to blow him out. Than Dante, who is still growing. I hope he doesn't turn pro because I think next year he definitely can make a run at the Heisman. And I think we saw in that game, like I said, he did a great job with the short passing game, but he couldn't elevate the offense past Texas Tech to put up touchdowns. And I don't think he's going to do it against Indiana, which is going to be better coach and it's a better all-around defense, I think, regardless of some of the talent differences. And so, yeah, I think Oregon will be lucky to score 17 points in this game.
Wow.
So you talked about Indiana's offense. So, yeah, Mendoza, we can nitpick him to death, and that's fine. But, dude, they rushed for 3,000 yards. This is a no-joke rushing attack.
Yes.
And Oregon did a great job against Texas Tech, but, Texas Tech had to learn some lessons going against a Big Ten team. And, if you're a Big 12 honk and you thought that, you had this Texas Tech team that was going to carry the flag for the Big 12, oh, my God. Because they got completely destroyed.
And their got kicked in the what, bro.
Talk about run defense. They completely stuffed what had been a solid rushing attack.
Talking about, oh man, we should be getting more respect. We lost to the best team in the nation twice.
Did you?
He learned a lesson. The Big 12 had to learn a lesson that the SEC is now learning. That they used to be the lesson. Now they're learning a lesson.
When you lose your best 3 teams and then you take group of 5 teams and put them in your conference, you can't automatically say, oh, we're just as good as everyone else. When you lost your best 3 programs to one of the 2 best conferences, like Pac-12 and Big 12 lost their best programs to the Big 10 and the SEC. So of course those conferences are going to be way stronger.
Yeah. That's just I'm saying that the SEC used to be the lesson, like to where there's levels to this. There's levels to this.
I think the gap has closed between SEC and Big Ten, but the SEC is still a monster.
The top of the Big Ten is better than the top of the SEC right now.
I mean, there's an argument to be made there for sure.
Yeah, and then truthfully, I mean, like people thought that Vanderbilt was gonna beat Iowa. Iowa went and beat them up. They scored on them. They threw on them. They ran on them. And Vandy only had one opt-out, and that was the tight end, Stowers. They had their quarterback. Their head coach said, we're going to go prove that we should have been in the playoff. And then you lose to Iowa. So it's not like the team wasn't motivated. You had half the team opt out. It's levels to this right now. And I think that the SEC had ingrained in people's brains for so long that they couldn't be touched. They got half the playoff field in this year. 1 team left. Hey, man.
But they had 2 cancel each other out, so that's not quite fair. But anyway, all right, back to my point, though.
So they still could have had 3.
True. So Oregon shut down Texas Tech's running game and then just did a number on Morton. And I was shocked because
They broke him.
Oh, my God. And he was a really efficient, tough quarterback all season long, but he was seeing ghosts. Oregon didn't sack him a ton, right?
No.
4 can be enough. 4 is a ton.
Yes.
Because 4 can be enough because that makes a guy, you don't get, if you got 4, you might have only not gotten 8 because he was getting rid of the football as fast as possible.
I'm going to tell you when the game changed for Baron Morton. So it was 2 plays that got him gun shy. The pick to Finney, and the pick to Finney was so crucial because that was a man. No.
The one in the end zone?
No. He ran an out route.
Oh, the out route. That's right. So I was thinking about who picked the one over the. Oh, that was Moore getting picked over the middle. Never mind.
Yes.
Yeah, the out route, and Finney jumped underneath it. Yeah, sorry.
Yes. Yeah. That disturbed his peace because if you're a quarterback and you're like, I threw a good ball, like what wasn't the best ball, but it wouldn't have mattered if he had threw the best ball of all time. That ball was getting picked,
right?
And that disturbs a quarterback's peace because he's like, hold up, I can't trust my best receiver to win. Like so now the quarterback is like, oh, this is a 1-on-1. I would normally throw this, but
that was a 6'4". But that was a 6'4" ultra athletic future first round pick who closed that gap in a nanosecond, unlike maybe a lot of guys in the Big 12.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that play, and then when Mixon almost picked that ball where he threw it on time, he threw it perfect, and he almost picked it. That Mixon one, he was like, "Oh God, where can I throw it?" Like these windows are tighter than I think that they are. And now you saw some times where he actually had some people and he's like, I don't know. And then the second pick to Finney, he thought that he was going to have, just straight man coverage, because that's what Oregon usually does in the red zone.
Right.
And they hit him with a trap coverage, and he threw it right to him. And now he's like, I don't even know what I'm looking at no more.
Yep. I was in his press conference, and I felt badly for him. Like
Yes.
he was very dejected, very upset at himself. He knew the defense played well enough to win, and he just couldn't put any points on the board. And he was asked about that play. And he said I thought they were in one coverage, and they were not. And he threw that corner route with complete confidence that it was going to be a touchdown, because he ended up with a slot receiver running a corner against a linebacker.
Yep.
It was Mixon. Well, you're going to win that 99% of the time. So you just throw it out to the corner, only your guy can get it. It's a touchdown. But he's expecting the outside hitch to hold Finney. Instead, Finney's like, I'm lined up. They were at the 9, so I'm lined up at the 5. I drop back to the 3, and I'm looking inside. I got another guy taking the hitch, and I'm watching you throw the corner. I just take 3 steps back, and it's right to me. And that's just, as a quarterback, when you are confident that you were going to throw this route, which you've thrown numerous times, and it ends up being an easy-ass pick, that just messes with you. Because now, and you've already been getting hit, like you said, you already threw the other pick, and now you're just done. You're just done. Because you can't trust what you see.
Yep.
Nothing that you think is open is going to be open.
And remember, you called me crazy when I told you that they were going to shake Morton and pick him off multiple times. George, he's only thrown 4 picks on the season.
I don't think I said you were. I don't think I called you crazy. I think I just said, he's been pretty efficient. But you're right in general. Just don't exaggerate. You don't have to exaggerate being right, George. You can just be right.
You were no. You were adamant. George, he's only thrown 4 picks on the season and blah, blah. I was like, Aaron. See, here's the difference between me and you, Aaron.
Oh my God, here we go.
Here's the difference.
Here we go.
Is that I'm a visionary.
Okay.
And I can see what's coming. And to your credit, because we need people like you to keep us in check sometimes.
Okay.
Is that you are a scientific, evidence-based, like this is why it is hard for a lot of people to argue with you, because you are going to take the data that you have and formulate a conclusion. And most times in life, that is going to lead you to good outcomes. Can we agree with that?
Yes.
Am I lying about you, or am I true?
No, you're right about that part. I'm just letting you finish so I can correct your other mistakes. Go ahead.
So the other part is that I do a better job of projecting out and telling you what is going to happen.
History. You're ignoring our history while you're saying this. You're ignoring history. Do I need to go back in time when they beat Ohio State and I said, Ohio State's defense was really weak against the run because they were out of position the whole game? I even did a film breakdown about that, about how they just reported quotes that a loss is coming. They had a mediocre game against Stony Brook, and I was like, they play like this, they're going to lose, and they lost to Stanford. I told you they're going to lose to Utah that year. They lost twice to Utah. So don't give me that visionary stuff,
the Utah,
man. I've broken down
Utah
visionary
loss,
things.
People could You could. No. The second Utah loss. The first one. The first one I told you was coming a month in advance. Anyway, you always say another loss is coming. You said another loss was coming.
I said
after
why?
we lost to Indiana. You said another loss is coming this season. They're not going to get through USC and UW and all of this. You said that this year, Aaron.
Okay, I'm not saying I've never been wrong. I'm saying
you say that every year. Another loss is coming. Come on.
And usually it does. Like last year, I said they were going to lose the Ohio State in the rematch. Anyway, it's okay to say you had vision on this, but you're acting like we've never had numerous moments where I've had the vision and you didn't. So just keep it like tight. Just praise yourself, pat yourself on the back without simultaneously attacking me when it's ridiculous.
I wasn't attacking you.
I can pull out examples.
Who you are.
All right. Anyway, continue. Are you done? Maybe you're done. Okay, maybe you're done. All right.
I'm done.
So here, look. You said they were going to get it multiple times. They did. I think I might have questioned it, but I don't think I was that egregious about it. But
yes,
whatever.
You were.
Okay. Maybe did I say that on the show? Can we go to the video, or did I say it on one of our phone
you said
calls?
it on this show and on Talking Ducks.
Ooh, double evidence.
Yes.
That's kind of tough.
Double.
Your Honor, we have 2 videos of him saying the very thing he denies that he said.
Pull up the film.
I should be a politician.
Oh, that would work because you can gaslight people good.
Ooh. This is true. I ain't gonna lie. All right. Anyway, moving along. So anyway, that's my thing, dude. I just think the Texas Tech game, to me, raises way more red flags for Oregon against Indiana than it squashed red flags. And that's why I'm sticking with Indiana winning this game.
What is your final score, sir, for Friday?
Well, this is definitely a threat level 5, of course, and I got them losing. I think it's going to be an entertaining game. I think it's going to come down not to 1 or 2 plays, but more like, 4 or 5 moments where it's like, Indiana just did it better. Right now, I'm sitting at like a 24-17 type number. I think that feels good. What? How's that crazy? Why are you rocking back and forth in your chair laughing at me? Okay, what do you got?
This is a 27-17 Ducks win.
Oh, my God. Okay.
Hey, mark this reaction. Mark this reaction.
I never reacted like that. What are you talking about? I don't know what you did. That's
27-17 Duckies.
Okay.
Threat level. What did I give the Texas Tech threat level?
I can't remember.
Maybe a 4? I think I gave it a 4.
Yeah, I think you did.
This is a 4.25.
Man, you're confident, huh?
Yeah. I'm confident in this game.
So let me make this extremely clear to everyone.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
Okay.
Make it clear for us, Aaron.
I'm picking Indiana.
Good.
But if Miami wins Thursday night, I will be actively, with no shame, pulling for the Ducks to win on Friday night. Because, as I've stated numerous times, I want nothing more in life outside of family stuff. I want to get it back later. Dad, you said I don't want anything more in life. I want this more than I want the Bears to win the Super Bowl this year. Because I don't think they're going to, so I can say that. If you told me right now, the Bears can win the Super Bowl,
they're going to lose in the first round of
Miami,
playoffs,
Oregon national championship game.
The Bears are going to lose in the first round of the playoffs.
And I might be saying that like the Bears are 16-1. I wouldn't say this, but but anyway, you get the point. I am Ken Go, great Oregonian reporter for decades, was a mentor of mine back in the day. He once said to me, I don't root for teams, I root for the best story. He said it to me like 20 years ago, and it always stuck with me. And it's like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. The greatest story by far would be Mario Cristobal and Miami against Oregon in Miami. Dude, I got chills just
so do you believe
that
that's a bigger okay, I have a question. So in the national media, will that story be bigger, or Ole Miss playing for a national championship without their head coach and all the Lane Kiffin drama and everything?
Yeah, I think that's bigger nationally. Because I don't think as many people care about the Mario coaches leave all the time, right?
Yeah.
Most people probably even forget.
It would be bigger to Oregon and to Miami, yes.
Yeah, of course.
100%.
Right.
100%.
And I don't care about
Not
Ole Miss,
even
and
close.
I don't care. Right. So I don't care about them that much. I think it's a fascinating story. Like the next best story for me would be Ole Miss winning it and Lane Kiffin never winning a national title would be amazing.
That would be. I would prefer. The karma would be. That would be. If the Ducks lost, I would actually. Well, so if Ole Miss beat Miami, and then the Ducks lost to Indiana, I would be rooting for Ole Miss with all my heart. Right. All my heart. Because number one, Indiana doesn't get to jump the line. Like Texas Tech. You don't get to jump the line. You do not get to jump the line. Get to the back.
It's so unfair if Indiana wins a national title before.
Oh my God.
That's just not right.
That would just right. Oh, that would just
sucks.
sting.
Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, you get it, right? Even
because
Auburn,
here's the thing is,
you get it.
Oregon could not, as
Florida
a
State,
program, right? If you think about it as a program, Aaron, there is no way for the past 25 years, like when you encompass the 25 years, the building of the program through prior to NIL, transfer portal, you get to the national championship, you get to another national championship prior to that. there is no way for Oregon to be closer to a national champion. Like, there is no program that is closer to a national championship without winning one.
Having ever won one, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, it's not even close. So then to have somebody jump the damn line
in 2 years,
that would hurt a little bit.
Right. That would suck. And let me make something else clear too. I make predictions, what I honestly feel, and a lot of people remember the negative things. They don't remember the positive, like the positive predictions I've made on Oregon.
You've been an Oregon homer all year. Like, let's not.
But I mean, just over the years, like it's.
Yeah.
I think people ignore that. Like if I say, "Oh, I think Ducks are going to win," they ignore it. If I say Ducks are going to lose, they remember that. I want to see Oregon win one just so everyone can chill, man. Like this fan base is on edge because it's come close, and there's these teasing moments, and then there's these dramatic disappointments, right? You know, you lose to Ohio State in the Rose Bowl in a great game. Okay, you get roasted. That's just like a gut punch, and you had already beaten them. You know, Ohio State, when, you know, they played them after beating Florida State, like that was the biggest win in program history. Then you play Ohio State. Ducks were favored, and you got smoked. And you got smoked in a way that everyone always said Oregon's going to get smoked, right? And it's just, you know, the 2019 season, you lose at Arizona State, right? And so, and, you know, the Washington, you're favored against Washington in the Pac-12 title game, and you lose. So there's all these close moments. And at some point, it's just gonna mess with your psyche, and so I can sense and I see it, and I think that's part of the reason why people just can be so venomous, because there is this edge and this angst with the program that are we ever gonna break through? So I would prefer to see Oregon win it, as long as it ain't against Miami, because I'm gonna tell you right now, Oregon Miami week. I'm letting it hang out. I'm letting my Miami Hurricane freak fly. I'm going to be the most hated man in the media, and I don't care because I'm going to be like y'all are. I'm going to act just like Oregon fans act because that's my team. I want Oregon to win it as long as it's not against Miami. Oh, my God.
If we play Miami in the national championship, we are going to smack. It is going to be BTA. Belt to ass. If we play Miami, I promise you that will probably be a 3-touchdown game if we play Miami.
Crazy.
And then I mean, granted, I still got to do the breakdown of it, but Aaron, it will be nothing greater in the whole world. Do you understand how glorious winning our bet and doing it against Miami would be? Oh my God, you would never live this down. I swear to God, Aaron, you will not want to do the pod with me next year. I will be acting a donkey. Let Oregon win the national championship, Aaron. I promise you. So I fashioned
against Miami.
I don't care who it's against. But especially against Miami.
You can't talk trash to me if they win it. Oh, yeah, you can, because we made a bet. Tell everyone about the bet. What was the bet?
Okay, so we made a bet 5 years ago. This is the 5th and final year. Aaron said, basically, and
You said.
Oh, no, hold on.
It started with you. It started with you.
So I said that Oregon was going to win a national championship. Aaron essentially said, and I'm going to tell you exactly what he's going to say. Okay. I said Oregon's going to win a national championship soon. He basically was like, Oregon's best days are, but behind them, they'll never have a run like they did of the conference championships and blah, blah, blah. And all
4 and 6 years and 2 national champions. Right.
And then Aaron is going to tell you, well, I didn't account for the transfer portal and NIL and all of this stuff. Like those things have helped Oregon. Well, it's helped Indiana. It's helped everybody. It's helped everybody except for Ohio State. And actually, it's helped Ohio State, too. That's how they won last year. They got 2 backs out of the portal, quarterback and Caleb Downs out of the portal. So, so our bet was that Oregon would win a national championship within 5 years. Aaron said, no way, no how. And now it is the 5th year. And Aaron last year was like, last year when they were number 1 in the nation, he won't admit it. He was sweating a little bit. And then he was like, see, I told you when the Ohio State game happened. But I believe a lot of that had to do with the bye situation, but in terms of the score in the game. But still, here we are in 2025, Aaron. We are here. And I, again, had the vision. And coming into this year, I did not pick Oregon to win a national championship. I did not pick them to win a national championship this year. We are on a wait and see what happens mode. We got to take care of this Indiana game first, and then we'll get to talking about that. If that opportunity presents itself, but we're not getting ahead of ourselves, Aaron. We got to take care of business.
Are you done? Because you left out a lot of details as usual. So let me break it down from my perspective. All right, 5 years, right? So that's 21, 2, 3, 4, 5. Going into the 21 season, we were coming out of the COVID year where the Ducks went 4-3. Now, they won the conference championship because they got gifted a trip to play USC in the conference championship. That year, they lost to Cal and Oregon State. Got punked by Iowa State. Okay, so that's one. Two, I had been telling you that Mario Cristobal's recruiting classes were not as good as they were being hyped to be.
Aaron 100% said that. 100%. And he was right. Because they were recruiting off lists.
Right. Right. Well, I mean, they definitely got a lot of talent, but there still was some hype. There was some hype there, right? Yeah. It wasn't okay. So going into 21, I'm looking at a team where you got Anthony Brown as your quarterback, a 6th-year transfer. They had Ty Thompson, but we didn't really know what was going to go on with him. And the talent and depth, the defense was okay, and it was just I just didn't see it. I didn't have the sense that moving forward it had something going that was going to allow it
the vision. You didn't have the vision.
My reference to the past was with Oregon in the past, covering the greatest era ever, 4 conference championship games in 6 years, 2 national championship runs. You talk about vision, dude. My vision in that stretch is literally Yoda-like. Like, I'm not going to bore everyone with the details, but I've gone over it with you and the things I broke down in advance, both good and bad, that happened. Okay. But the point is, I didn't see the same thing in 21, 5 years out. A lot has happened since then that has helped you. Number one, by far, the portal.
I told you he was going to say this. Up. It doesn't matter. It was still
it didn't matter. It doesn't matter to the bet, but that was never part of your vision. You thought Mario was stacking classes and was going to win a national championship. He was not stacking classes, and he left, something you never saw coming. Talking about vision, I said Mario the day he got hired would leave for Miami as soon as Miami came calling. So talk about vision.
And I did not believe Miami was going to come open because at that point in time, they did not look like they were on a trajectory to come open.
But you didn't. They just hired someone. But anyway, the point is you didn't think Mario would leave it anyway. Even that year you did when I told you, oh, Miami's struggling, watch out. No, there's no way Mario's going to leave. Because I didn't think that
they were going to fire it. I did not think that they were going to fire it.
Regardless, you still didn't think the Mario would leave. No one in the state thought Mario was going to leave for Miami except Aaron Fentress. Let's just put that out there. Not one person in the media thought that was going to happen. I was on an island by myself, laughing my ass off at these people.
Yes, you were. And about halfway. So hold on. And about halfway through that season, before what's his name got fired at Miami, I had a conversation with a player that played with Mario Cristobal, who's a current NFL coach, who I'm very close to, who talked to me, and he was like, George, he will, if Miami comes open, he's taking that job. And I was like, really? He was like, yes. And the reason why is he was like, you have to know Mario. He was like, we're all. So like Mario was part of that same era with like Ray Lewis and Michael Irvin. You see how psychopathic that they are about Miami. He was like the Rocks the same way. He was like, all of the guys that played in that era are like that because of all the stuff that we went through and everything else. And I did not fully understand.
Because you didn't have the vision.
No, I just didn't understand that they were crazy people like that. But here is the point, is that Mario, honestly, he is right where he should be. He is where he should be.
Duh.
And this is actually one of the things that I love. I love because Mario's situation leaving Oregon and going to Miami is the same reason why Clark Lee is still at Vanderbilt, the same reason why Jeff Brom is still at Louisville, the same reason why Kenny Dillingham is still at Arizona State, the same reason why there's one more. But Brent Key is still at Georgia Tech. They're at their alma maters. They played there, all of that stuff, and they want to build that up. And that's why they didn't leave. Okay, and that's why I love Mario at Miami.
Okay. It's one thing to interject a small point, but you sometimes interrupt and go on a long tangent. The bottom line is I'm the one who saw that day one at his press conference when he was being introduced at Oregon. So I had a vision. You did not. No one else did.
No,
I knew he was going to leave.
You were hoping as a Miami fan.
No. Everything you just talked about in terms of the ties to Miami were evident. Like, it was like a given. He talked about how his mom lived in Miami and then he had to explain to her how far away he was on the map. I'm like, oh, he gone. That was day one. Anyway, the point is, and also I was just at Miami. I went on the beach. I'm like, how could anyone in the world believe that someone from this is going to not come to this and would rather stay in Eugene? That didn't make any damn sense whatsoever. Anyway, but the point is this. He left. His recruiting classes that you thought were amazing were not amazing. And then the transfer portal came about, which allowed Dan to reload at quarterback, with ease. The NIL, Oregon has a bunch of money. And I said that on the show, like in 23 or whatever, I'm like, if I'm Phil Knight, I'm throwing $30 million at the problem and just win a national title and get it over with. So you have benefited from changes. That doesn't change the bet, but don't act like that was part of your vision, because it wasn't, because your initial vision went absolutely kaput. Still, you can win the bet, but not Aaron, because of your vision. Come on, dude, bro.
We would have figured it out another way. Okay. Anyway, so yes, regardless, if Oregon wins a national title, I will owe George $100 that he ain't never gonna see. Oh yeah. Hey, you guys hop in the comments today. We don't ever tell people to hop in the comments, even though that they do. Comment on us, because as the season is wrapping up, what has been your favorite episode of this show, so we can revisit it and see what you guys like, so we can give you guys more of that.
They'll be the ones where George gave Fentress the business. All right, so we've settled that. I want Oregon fans to get a national championship so they can chill, as long as it doesn't come against Miami. But I'm picking them to lose to Indiana. So there we go.
Wrong.
All right, is that everything? We went on forever.
I'm good. I've emptied that thing, man.
I think we've covered everything we could possibly cover. All right, thanks for listening. We'll be back as soon as we can after this big game on Friday night. I cannot wait. You're not going, are you?
No, I am not.
Would you be in Miami if Oregon?
Yes, I will 100% be in Miami. I will 100% be in Miami if we win on Friday. 100%.
I'm
refundable tickets already bought, buddy. I was talking to Pharaoh Brown. I went to his game against the Rams on Sunday. We got a whole plan.
A party plan?
A plan.
Am I invited?
You get invited. Our wives will be there. It is going to be a fun
okay.
Plan.
It's not like your wives will be there.
Listen. I don't go nowhere where my wife and kids can't go.
Oh, good for you. Because I was thinking Miami party boats.
No, man. Frank. My wife can come on a party bus with me.
I said party boat.
I just don't do Frank the Tank things anymore. Frank the Tank is dead. Yeah, we don't play them games, buddy.
You're smart. And a certain coach in Michigan kind of drove home, why you don't. All right, thanks for listening. We're out.